Basketball is my life. I have nothing else.
This is incredible. This is the best grateful for I've ever heard.
Shooters. That's what we do.
Shooters, a basketball podcast. Let's go.
All right, welcome back. Season 2, we're officially calling it, which is exciting. Jack, how are you doing this week? What have you been up to?
I'm doing very well. I'm officially back in Tasmania on the beautiful home soil. And we've had a little pre-season kind of mini camp. We called it more like a boot camp. But we've had all the Aussies in. We've been getting after it 4 straight days, getting everyone acclimated to what we do. Acclimated? Yeah, there we go, to what we do.
That was a tough word.
There you go. Starting the podcast off right. You know, helping guys getting settled into their houses, having guys come across on the boat, you know, and just doing all those different things, building that culture, had a couple team dinners, lunches, and all that good stuff. But we've been working hard, non-stop from 7 till 2 each day, getting back after it, the defensive drills, defending the island, it's all back. NBL is officially back for Jack McVeigh, I can tell you that much right now.
That's great news. That's great news. I always love, give us like a standout or like a surprise or like a storyline from, I don't know, the training sessions. Is someone, I don't know, I like specifics. Is someone shooting it well? Is someone surprising you all?
Well, I would say, first off, you know, I know he's a great friend, but shout out to Anthony Drimmick. He came in, he buys in quick. Everyone knows he plays hard, loves a little bit of physicality, and I think he's going to have a great year. That builds into exactly what the Jack Jumpers are about, and I can tell you he had a great couple days, and it was exciting to see him in the green down in Tassie.
The new man in town. It must be hard just being the new guy, regardless of like he's a league veteran now. But I reckon it'd just be an interesting feeling that would be like good nerves and bad nerves, because you probably want to make a good first impression, your first training session, your first week, your first couple of weeks. So yeah, that's I assume he's just slotted in nicely, and it's probably very helpful for him that he's got someone like you, one of his close friends, just like there to coach him through it.
Well, yes, you're 100% on the money. I mean, it was Sunday night, Farb and me were catching up. I picked him up from the airport, but we were around the house a little bit nervous ourselves. And I mean, we're heading into the third year here. We know what we're about to do. We know what the trainings are like, the process of in the gym. We have a relationship with the coaches, and we were still nervous. You know, it's that little bit of excitement. Have we done enough in the off season? Are they going to see the work we've put in? All those kind of self-doubt questions creep in. And so obviously that is times 10 for new guys. And so they all did a great job. Majuk was awesome. He picked it up quick. Great guy. Junior was finding himself towards the back end off the court and showing us that big personality, getting after it. And so it was all the good things. Everyone coming in nicely. Lockie Barker was doing his thing, shooting shots, playing off the pick and roll, and so it was a great week. And everyone was excited, getting after it, and it was good.
Tell me, this is a random question I'm throwing at you. Tell me what Junior Maduit's fashion game is like, because we had him on one of our podcasts with Annalie Bailey, and he promised that he wanted to get into more fashion, like even like fashion shoots. So I want you to. Does he have a good fashion sense, or just generic? Hasn't lived up to it.
Well, I can't comment on it too much because we're mandatory Jack Jumpers gear to and from training. So we're all in the nice, we're all in the nice new green, the green polos, the green hoodies, and we're looking sharp. And so I haven't seen too much of his fashion, but I appreciate you bringing that up because we've seen some fun side. We were walking down the street the other night after dinner, and there's this little spot in Hobart where people do breakdancing. And he told us that he thinks he would win if he stepped out. And I'm not sure how serious he was, but it seemed pretty serious. So I think we've got a little secret breakdancer on the loose as well.
He either talks a very good game and doesn't live up to these things, or he can actually, do everything he's saying he can, which I hope it's the latter, just putting it out there. I'd like if he had those talents. But no, he seems like a fun personality, and we're going to run through the teams today, and he was actually one of my notes, I just want to see him sort of get more consistent minutes and see what he's really capable of, even though he's super fresh into his NBL journey anyway.
100%. So as Darren just said, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be running through all the NBL teams, talking about the roster, our little thoughts, takes, what we're excited for, what we're keen to see when the NBL season starts. Well, let's lock into the Jackies real quick because we'll keep continuing this conversation. Then I need to know what you've been up to, what you're excited for, what projects you're working on. But one person I am excited to see with the Jackies is Jordan Crawford and what he's going to bring. What's your thoughts on that situation? 5'6", the second smallest guy to ever play in the NBL.
I like the fact check right there. Who's the smallest? I can't even tell you.
I was looking this up last night, but I've forgotten his name. He played for Wollongong, 19 till he was 22. Played in a couple games here or there. Before that, it was Shane Larkin back in the day. But I can't remember the name of the smallest. But Jordan Crawford will be taking that just by about a centimetre to not be the smallest of all time.
Well, it's one of those things because you hate to keep like every time you think of a guy to just be like, hey, he's small. But it's the fact of the matter and it makes it curious. I'm curious how he'll go. Like, from all accounts, obviously he can play. Like he's gotten this far. He's got the resume he does because he can play. But the 5'6" is something that you just sort of like, oh, okay. It'll be interesting. So, but I heard he can score. Every highlight I've seen, he can clearly score. He's definitely one of the guys I'm most intrigued by. But yeah, I was glad that you guys brought obviously Milton back. Just a huge signing. I feel like it was done for a while behind the scenes, but they finally announced it, which was cool. And yeah, I don't know. And then the other ones I had were Marcus Lee. Great addition. I just think he's going to be super solid. And I hear that one of the Jackie's best players is feeling the best he's ever have in his career. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you go out there. That's what I'm saying.
I tell you what, I had a great week too. The body's feeling good, the mind's feeling good. So the week produced some results. It's always a little scrappy, and a lot of us haven't played this level of basketball in a while. But it was a good week out there, shooting the ball well, feeling good. So it'll be exciting once we get those imports in because obviously they play an important role in the team. Marcus rolling down, being athletic, blocking shots, playing great defense. Doyle doing his thing, as you said. And then there's no doubt in my mind Crawford's not going to come in here. He's going to come in here and get some buckets. And it's going to be exciting to see. But before we go on to the other teams, I need to know how your week's been. So give us a little breakdown. What have you been up to?
What I've been doing? I don't know, it's just some usual stuff. We got our flights booked in for the NBL 1 National Finals, so that's coming into life, which will be good. But one project I keep mentioning on this podcast because I like a shameless plug, but Annalie Maley's podcast, Under the Surface, we actually just got back from, we've got Reebok on board sponsoring that podcast, so that's super cool. I just got back from meeting the guys at Reebok, which they seem like a great team over there. They took us to their showcase, got to see some of the upcoming merch, the shoes and all that stuff, so it's just one of those projects that's exciting because they seem excited to work with us, we're excited to work with them. It's just about integrating how we can work together as part of the NBL and then the podcast specifically. So that's definitely a project it's fun and it's always, I was just chatting to someone before, I think the key ingredient in any project like this is definitely like the dedication and passion that specifically comes from the athletes. So and Annalie's all over that. So yeah, shout out to her. She's been killing it, and yeah, Reebok are loving what she's doing as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. It's cool seeing you delve into these other projects, and obviously they're finding success and then applying it to what we do here and having some fun with this here. Some other news, obviously you'll be going to Perth for the NBL 1 National Finals. The Blitz was just announced, so that will be happening at the Gold Coast from the 16th to the 22nd.
Yeah, sounds right.
And so you'll be there running the media team, doing that thing. What's kind of like, give us a real quick rundown, because we'll go into more detail in a later episode, kind of what you'll do at the Blitz on the Gold Coast, and obviously hanging out with me and getting some lunch or a dinner whenever we have some free time.
Of course. We've got to actually do it this time. We promised and we didn't deliver last time, but that's fine. Busy bodies. Well, funny you mentioned that, because tomorrow, my manager, Guy Neville, if you're listening, I don't know if you support me with this content, but hey, I hope you're listening anyway. We're having a meeting tomorrow about that. So I can't even tell you what my officials' duties will be from the Blitz, but we're going to meet tomorrow, and I'll get back to you on that one.
There you go. Well, that's enough about the future things, because I'm sure we'll have a Blitz podcast let's get into these teams because there's a lot to talk about. There's big movements. It's exciting stuff heading into the NBL 24. Let's start us off with the Adelaide 36ers. Now, someone I particularly want to give a shout out that is an awesome story that I'm sure people will hear about a little bit more is Alex Starling. I mean, he's been one of the greats of NBL Central, which is the South Australian League, and he's been dominating that. Multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year, multiple championship winner, multiple MVP, and he got his Australian citizenship a couple months ago, got that roster spot at the age of a bit over 30. I don't know the exact age, but he's going to be a rookie 34. In the NBL. 34, and he's going to be an exciting dude to see, bringing athleticism, doing his thing. Nick Marshall officially on the roster. That's exciting. Yes. What have you got for the Adelaide 36ers?
Yeah, they're an interesting one. But yeah, Alex Starling, I said this to you offline the other week. I got a chance to quickly speak to him. He just seems like a great dude, full stop. So I'm always rooting for just good people. And one of the questions I was just kind of like interviewing him about, coming to the league and asking who he was as a person and stuff. Two things I asked him, just those generic welcome to the league type questions, and one of them was, do aliens exist? I just wanted him to, jump off the back of that, and he said yes, because sometimes he thinks he's one with his athleticism and stuff. So, he may be 34, but he's not shying away from confidence or athleticism, which I enjoyed. And he also said he wants to win Rookie of the Year, like oldest Rookie of the Year ever was his words. So there's a goal. There's a goal that he wants, which we love. But yeah, Nick Marshall was definitely another one. Your close friend, but I think the guys from the NBL, Liam Santa Maria and the co, they were saying he's going to be a future star. It's just a matter of when. So Nick Marshall is definitely one that's, I think, every NBL fan, specifically Adelaide fan, are excited about.
100%. Someone coming back to the Adelaide 36ers, and obviously it's my past team, but he was a great mentor for me when I was a rookie, Jacob Wiley. And so he brings a type of energy, athleticism, fun, and competitiveness every single day that I learnt a lot from, and is someone that definitely I aspired to be like, to play like, to study the way they go about their daily schedule and their workouts. So it'll be awesome to see him be in the back in the league, and I'm very, very excited to battle it out with him and go toe-to-toe with someone that I've admired and still do admire, and to go out there, rub some elbows and compete at a very high level.
Is he as energetic off the court as he is on? Because all I remember from him is pretty much just like screaming at celebrations and ones, dunking it and just yelling to the fans. Is he like that off the court?
He is 100% like that off the court. He's full-time energy all the time, and I absolutely love it.
Love it. It's always nice to hear that. But in general, they're going to be super interesting, just because, like Antonius Cleveland got announced today that he has opted out of his contract, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect that would happen. Robert Frank's gone as well. Daniel Johnson, apparently, I don't think he'll be with them. And then, your man Anthony Drimmick left them as well. So it's like their whole structure, besides from Mitch McCarron and Sunday Detch, those guys, it's a complete shuffle, so they're definitely intriguing.
100%. It'll be good. New guys, new system. Second year as a head coach is always good, because that first year is always tough. You get to bring in your own guys. You get to make some adjustments. You get to do your thing, find your feet. It's always exciting to see a second year coach. Take us into Brisbane, Darren.
Brizzy, what have I got for Brisbane? I think, firstly, Isaac White's been killing it, your man from Tassie. Been killing the NBL one, so I hope he does well. But I think it'll just be interesting to see like someone like Josh Bannon. I don't really know too much about him, but people started comparing him to basically Nick Hayes type game if he pans out, which I like the sound of. And I feel like people almost expect him to start from day one, or at least get a fair few minutes, which is cool. Do you know much about Josh at all? I don't know if you've had any run-ins.
I, with Josh Bannon, haven't ever talked to him personally, seen him, or watched him play, but I've heard multiple people say very, very good things about him. He's a winner, works hard, does the right things, has a certain athleticism and grit about him, and I agree. He's going to be a great player. from what I've heard from other people's. I can't vouch for that for myself until I see him on the court doing his thing. But from everything I've heard from a couple guys that are part of that Brisbane Bullets squad, they love playing with him. They love training with him every day right now. And so that's an exciting young piece to kind of not build around, but to add to that what you're working with, what you're developing, and what you see the future of the Brisbane looking like.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of future of Brisbane, Rocco Zikarsky, what do you know about him? All I know about him is he's like a 17-year-old, 7'3", whatever, a big man. But I'm just curious to see how many minutes he'll get next season because he is young. Because obviously NBL teams are all about winning as much as we love the young fellas getting on court. But yeah, what do you think about him?
Well, it's always interesting because I think sometimes people put a little bit too much stock into playing. Yes, playing is important and part of development and everyone wants to play, but going to battle with Aaron Baines every single day at the age of 17, 18 years old is all you could want when you're talking about the projection of your career. I mean, that's what it takes, learning from one of the Aussie great bigs, applying that every single day, that physicality, building that body, getting that strength. That takes some time, especially when you're a bigger fella, and learning how to use that. So whether he plays 0 minutes this year or whether he plays 10, 15 minutes a game, I think it's irrelevant in terms of where his projection is for his career. So it'll be interesting. It's a cool story to follow to see how the coach can use him to help winning, especially with someone that big can affect the game in ways that other people just can't. But it's always hard to tell to see how he's going to keep up with foot speed and strength at a young age. I know at my age I couldn't, but his future's very bright, so it'll be very exciting to see what he's capable of.
I always wonder whether over 7 foot, or even high 6 foot, whether that's a blessing or a curse. Obviously, it's a blessing in some ways, but yeah, you just hope it all pans out for him. Do you have any more on Brisbane? Otherwise, take us into Cairns because I've got one name from Cairns that I'm most looking forward to.
Let me guess that Cairns Taipans. Is that Taron Armstrong, the Tassie boy himself? Well, tell us.
I'm too predictable.
I like it. Well, you let us fly. What you're excited to? Did you follow him in college a little bit? What have you heard and what are you excited to see?
I think the fact that I wanted to follow him more in college as soon as I sort of started like finding him on my radar and stuff. So I think the fact that I didn't follow him as much as I wanted to brings me to the excitement of him coming to the NBL and me wanting to follow him here. So I think it's just his passing. People always highlight his playmaking and his passing, but he seems like he's got some bounce as well. So it'll be interesting to see what type of player he is exactly. But I've heard he's going to get like a fair few minutes and like maybe even start from like day dot. So I think that's what excites me about him. Whenever a young player comes to the league, if they're a guard, I think that makes it kind of 10% more exciting just because I feel like there's a lot more pressure on a young guard to lead a team, especially if you're starting. Yeah,
I agree, especially in that point guard position. I want to say, particularly with Cairns, I love what they've done with their imports. I mean, the import they got from the German league, I played him over there. Big, strong body, plays aggressively, a great basketball player. And so I think that's really good. Signed with McCall, it'll be interesting to see how they work together, especially with their extreme athleticism. But they're going to be tough in transition, and if you let them running on a break, it is over. You're not going to be able to stop them. So it'll be exciting to see that. And then obviously, our shooters, one of the Shooters podcast's favorite player.
Yes.
I know you know who I'm talking about. Who am I talking about when we talk about one of our favorite players and how exciting it is he's back in that Cairns uniform?
Yeah, it's bull qual, and I think it's just like you touched on it at the end there. Like just the fact that he's actually back and someone didn't bloody steal another Cairns stud is good. I just like that he's back because I thought he was going to leave. Like I heard rumors about stuff that I'm like not another one, but yeah, glad he's back. I feel like his growth and his name is only going to continue to grow more and more. So, yeah, we raved about him a few times on the pod, especially his defense and his shooting. But, yeah, he's obviously a major piece for them to bring back. So it'll be exciting, him leading the charge.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Now, to the Illawarra Hawks, another system in which the coach gets his second year, gets to bring in some of his more own dudes, found his feet, that's an exciting place to be. You know, what can a healthy Justin Robinson look like? Particularly, you know, we were excited. We saw what he was capable of in the preseason. Gets hurt. They love what he's about. He loves the gong. And so he says, I'm going to stay here. I'm a rehab. I want to be part of this team. I want to spend time with the coaching staff. And they reward him by bringing him back and seeing that he's going to be an integral piece of what they are, you know, their play style, what they want to be. And so I love what's going on there. And it's always exciting to see how someone bounces back. You know, they got Froling at the front, who's improving every single year. Blanchfield is going to be back, and you know he's going to be hungry, coming off a great NBL 1 North, you know, All-Star 5, still pushing in the playoffs. So Illawarra is exciting. I'm cheering for my boy Blanchfield because I know what he's capable of. Froling, obviously, they got one of the best lefties in all of the world, and you know, one of those shot makers that makes shots that are unbelievable. Well, how are you feeling about the Illawarra Hawks?
I think they've assembled a sneaky, very good roster. Like, I just sort of like what they're doing. Gary Clark coming in, I've heard good things about him, even though I don't really know too much about him. Yeah, and I think Justin Robinson is the main one. Like, I still think it's so cool that he, as an import with a bigger name than some as well, like having that NBA experience, people always talk that up. But as an import, full stop down here to hang around your team the entire season when you're injured from day one, essentially. I find that, super impressive that he wants to do that. He wants to come back for a second season, and he probably feels like he wants to prove himself to all us Australians and New Zealand people out here that, haven't really seen the proper Justin Robinson. So I think that's exciting. He's coming off a summer league with Charlotte as well. I'm just keen to see what he can actually do in this league, essentially.
I 100% agree. Well, I started that one off, and I was talking a lot. So I'd love to hear your take on Melbourne United. I was just got a little coffee with their new assistant coach, Jacob Chance, and I was trying to get some little secrets, some ins and outs, but I couldn't quite get anything off him. So I've got no insider scoop there. But what do you like about what Melbourne United's doing?
You're part of like the new media now. You got to get like some scoops or something to, some juicy things to take out of your close friends. Just before we go to Melbourne, just some sneaky sort of fun guys from Illawarra I reckon will be fun to watch. Like AJ Johnson, next star, he's got that hype about him. I get confused, but I think he's Jalen Green's cousin or something. So that's kind of, the Houston Rocket star, which is, kind of intriguing. Yep. Dan Greater, I just want another healthy season from him. And Lachlan Olbrich, I don't know too much about him, but I have a feeling you've had some sort of run-ins with him as well. So, I just think they've got some good young guys that you can actually, you don't know what to expect from them, which is intriguing. But yes, I can start on Melbourne. Don't worry. No,
I love it. Lockie Olbrich has been playing down in Adelaide with Anthony Drimmick, and he's been a star, like big body, strong, moves well. So, a young fella coming out of college early because he got that 3-year deal. He's going to have a little chip on his shoulder because I think he wanted to be at Adelaide. So that was the rumour going around. But he's going to be in Illawarra, which is a great place to start your career. And with a body like the way he moves, good 3, he has potential to be a genuine long-term star in this league.
Circle that Illawarra versus Adelaide lineup, I reckon. But Melbourne, I think, are they going to go like a no-import lineup? Because right now, I'm pretty sure the entire roster is Aussie/New Zealand, and Ariel Huckpotty is the new as the next star, German background. But am I right in saying they don't have any imports signed? I think I am. I'm just going to say that. I think I am. As far as I'm going to say yes.
Yeah,
so that's very interesting.
I like it. They're going to probably need to bring in some sort of injury replacement for Joe Lawal, who sadly is a big out because he did something to his wrist, which must be bad because it's 4 months is what the NBL post said, and that's what I've heard. But and everyone knows what he's capable of. So it'll be interesting. The all Aussie lineup. They went with the 1 or 2 the import Scotty Hobson off the bench when they won the whole thing, and so they could be looking to do something similar there. Delhi.
There you go.
Who knows what they're going to do?
I like the references you have sometimes. They'll be fun. And bringing Luke Travers in. I think the Luke Travers move for Luke as just a person, an individual, is good for him. I think his main reason was purely to get out of his comfort zone. So even if that's the only reason, I think that's really cool. But they'll probably have to be people are talking them up as contenders already. So it'll be interesting. But it is sad about Joe Luala-Chul. Like I think like people are just hyped to have him back, and then it's just like boom, you're out for months and months. So we shall see. But yeah, New Zealand Breakers. What you got?
New Zealand Breakers. Now, this is the one team I actually don't know too much about, and I haven't been following too closely. But I was surprised that they didn't bring Brantley back. You know, he was a beast. Played that kind of that small ball four that the NBL last year was surrounded by. You know, every team almost had one. You had Cooks, you had myself, you know, DJ Hogue, Mitch Creek. And so that's all, that similar play style. I won't be surprised if it's the same. Luke Travis will now be playing kind of that role, I imagine, with Melbourne United. But New Zealand Breakers, I haven't been following too closely. I'm still a little hurt from being eliminated from them. So this is on you to take this one away.
You're just like, I'm intentionally not watching or paying attention to them. No, that's fair. They've got one of our men that we both saw live in, where was it? In our Germany experience, Zylan Cheatham. I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly, but I found it cool that we saw him and you played against him over there. But from what I saw from him in person, he seemed like just like one of those sort of great hustle energy guys, and probably as soon as he comes to the NBL, he's going to show flashes of his offensive game as well. But what did you take away? Do you remember that game against him? I'm sure you do.
Nah, it was a great game. And then one person I did see sign with Delaney, who was also in the German league. It's going to be some good friends battling it out there. And obviously, it's always good to see a homebody go home. And Delaney was a beast. And he's someone that will put the league on notice that first time he crashes that O boards. But I do remember the game, you being there, me hitting some shots, you catching some great footage, and us having some fun together.
What you cooking back there? Who's cooking something?
No, so we just have to say Lloyd, my younger brother's in the background making noise right now, a lot of noise, because he's got on the little compression legs. So you put the compression legs on when you saw you hurt, and I hit them earlier. I told him, hey, please keep it down, but he's still being pretty noisy in the background right now.
That's fine. We'll forgive him. I thought I heard a microwave, so I was going to get some food chat happening. Congrats, Lloyd, on the college deal, by the way. Anyway, back on routine. I'm disappointed Jarrell Brantley isn't coming back as well. So that was what I had for New Zealand. Parker Jackson Cartwright. Can't say I've heard his name before, but Olgun Ulich from ESPN reports that they signed him as well. And Justinian Jessup, the ex-Hawk. We haven't seen him for a few years, but used to be in the NBL as a next star, coming back to the league. So it'll be interesting to see how he's progressed. Yeah,
that'll be cool. That's cool to see a next star return. And obviously, he had some massive games in Illawarra. It'll be cool to see how he's developed, how he's shooting that ball, his ability to play off the dribble, if that's improved. But that's an exciting get. And that's the first time breaking that news for me. So we got some insider news by Darren.
Don't worry, I don't say anything that's not official, or if I do, we just delete it. But that's fine. Perth Wildcats. I guess you can't go past Keanu Pinder, but were you, on a personal level, were you happy that he went somewhere else, or would you have liked to see him stay back in Cairns?
It's awesome to see what he did in Cairns, but as a player first, I always think it's awesome when dudes get to go home, especially if that's what they want to do. Yep. So it's a rare occasion in sport where guys get to really play for their hometown. And so for me, I get why people want to see him in Cairns. I love that he could have chased home, be around family, be around friends. They get to come to every game, watch him, support him, celebrate birthdays and Christmases together. So I like the Perth get by him, but obviously I think you have a different opinion. Well,
it was a very good selling point just then, so you kind of swayed me. But no, like I said before, would have liked to see him stay in Cairns, but hey, you guys can do what you want, and going home, I'm not going to ever know what that would feel like or that temptation, so I cannot blame him. But yeah, the other ones I had for Perth was just people are kind of critical of the 3-guard lineup with both Websters and Cotton. I don't know what you think of that, but they've shown it can work decently. So it'll just be interesting to see them have like a full proper season of that. And Alex Starr and Ben Henschel, both just young players that I reckon will be fun to watch. Everyone's used to tuning into Bryce Cotton show, but to have some of those young guys to kind of replace that Luke Travers intrigue will be fun. Will be fun, I reckon.
No, I agree, and I love when a team has vision in the sense that they say, this is our local guy, we want to develop him, we want to build that up, and we want to see what he's capable of building that culture and learning now and applying that in the future. And when a team does that, I think it always pays off well in the long run.
Yeah, for sure. And it'll be interesting. I was going to touch on like it's interesting how good Bryce Cotton can be Bryce Cotton for. Did I word that right? Oh well, you get what I'm trying to say.
You did. I know exactly what you said, and what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I'm the classic Google someone's age to answer these questions, but I think I undersell age as in like age is just a number. Like you can go for however many years you want to go, and I just saw today that Steph Curry said he still thinks he's in the prime of his career, and he's like 34, 35 or something. So yeah, Bryce is probably same mold, really, same shape.
Well, I would never publicly or privately ever go against Bryce Cotton. So I got to say, as long as he wants to keep getting buckets, I think he'll keep getting buckets. I heard he's someone that shows up to training every single day, plays hard, is professional, looks after his body. He's got a lighter frame, so I don't think it has the same load on your knees, on your ankles as a big fella that's running around and doing their thing. And so the way he moves on the court, I could see him continuing to get buckets for a very, very long time and staying at that consistent high level. Maybe it might drop by 2 points, but maybe it also might go up depending what pieces they surround themselves with. Having him and Keanu Pin to play that pick and roll together is going to be pretty scary combo.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a very smart answer, both on a competitive level and a team-orientated level. I like that. I'm going to lead us into Southeast Melbourne Phoenix because Ben Air, if you're listening, weeks ago we met at some basketball event that a friend of mine ran, and we saw him there. We spoke. He met Jess, very lovely fella to begin with, but he promised me a coffee, and ever since that he stood me up. So if you're watching, you still owe me that coffee, and yes, that would be greatly appreciated. But on a basketball note, I think he's going to be good for them. I reckon he's going to be like super consistent if he gets those minutes, and I think a change for him is kind of exciting as well. Coming back home, like we were touching on.
100%. Benny, get my man Darren a coffee. All right, make that happen right the hell damn now. All right.
It's only fair. Stick to your word.
It is. But I agree. I think sometimes continuality. I might just be making words up. When a roster continues, it can make a vast difference, more than I think most people take into consideration. And so when you can build those imports, 2 imports coming back, you got Mitch Creek, who's a dominant part of the offense and defense, coming back. You learn how to play together. That pick and roll, that defensively talk communication makes such a big difference. And so I think that is always a good thing. Yes, you could always maybe find a piece that fits a little bit better, but you lose a lot of the work that you've already put in over a season.
It's a very good point, actually, because like most people would, like some imports, they come and people are just like, yeah, he had a decent season or he had a good season or whatever. But then a lot of people's reaction is just like, oh, how can we upgrade that? But I think what you're saying is pretty spot on. Like, I think it's cool that Alan Williams, for one, wants to come back. He came back, he signed, I don't know, it felt like from the end of the season, he was just straight away like, yep, I'm coming back. And now they're bringing back Gary Brown as well. So they've got those 3 starters in them and Mitch Creek just coming back. Like you said, they've already had a season of work together. So you'd assume they can only fit better together now. So I think it's quite cool when imports come back to this league, because you never know whether they're going to be the ones that make Australia their home, or it's just like a 2 or 3 season stint and, I don't know, get a championship and go, that type of vibe.
100%. And before I lead it off to Sydney Kings, let's talk a little bit about Ryan Brokoff, who's kind of said maybe retirement. He's definitely taking a year off, seeing where he wants to be, if he's willing to put the amount of time in. Tough couple years with a lot of injuries, but when he was playing well, he was a big piece for them defensively, deflections, grabbing rebounds, shooting the 3-ball well, providing that length. And then obviously a great dude, so culturally is an important piece, with the experience of being in the NBA, being in Europe, playing for Boomers. He has that voice. So that will be a big loss for Southeast, and obviously a big loss for the NBL. So I hope he enjoys the year. It'll be interesting to see if he comes back or not. But someone that is coming back and that is exciting for the league and for Sydney Kings is Jalen Adams, who is one heck of a basketball player. the MVP. He said, "I want back. Sydney is my city." How do you feel about the Sydney Kings?
Yeah, I think firstly on him, it's super cool that he's coming back. Like, I think I can't recall any time this has like happened this quickly. As in, you have such a good season with a team, you win an MVP, you win a championship, have a season off, and you're like, hey, you know what? I really enjoyed that spot. I'm gonna come back. Like you didn't miss a beat. So, and his motivation is to keep up that three-peat essentially. So, it'll be interesting to see, if last time was just not like a fluke, but as in if that's just a good season for him or that's just who he is normally. So I hope he backs it up. I hope he does exactly what he did last time, and can really build like a bit of a legacy in the NBL as like one of the best imports. So that's exciting. But Jonah Bolden, I reckon that's obviously one of the best or biggest storylines. Just who's Jonah going to be after all this time off? I find it super intriguing for someone to be. He made the NBA. He was doing his thing over there, just figuring it out, doing his thing with the Boomers, and then he's just like, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to focus on other elements of my life. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you make of that situation as a whole?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he chased some other things. He said, I'm done. I've got what I wanted to get out of basketball. And then obviously at some point he's missed it and he's back with the Sydney Kings. It'll be very interesting to see if he's still got that elite level touch, that athleticism, that length, the way to impact the floor in multiple different ways. And then you team that up with Denzel Valentine, who in the past has given me the business when he was playing at Michigan State. Yeah, he was playing at Michigan State when I was as a senior, when I was a freshman in Nebraska. And so we did manage to beat them at Michigan State, but he still probably cooked me for 30, 10 and 10, which is pretty much what he averaged in the Big Ten that year. So it'll be cool. Jeez. That's a big signing for the NBL in terms of just a guy that has played a legitimate amount of NBA games, had a great career, and is proven to be a winner.
Yeah, for sure. Great get, like you said, and just the intrigue factor with those guys. I hope we see a really good season from him. Who's the other one I had? Oh, I just wanted to get your... I was really surprised when the DJ Vasiljevic news came out that he wouldn't be coming back to Sydney. I just found that really interesting because I thought he'd be the type of guy that basically the face of the team with Cooks leaving. I just found that really interesting. I just wanted to get your thoughts on whether you were surprised or whether you knew it was happening or anything like that.
I haven't talked to him since the announcements happened, but I know he's always been interested in exploring that European routes. He's obviously chasing the NBA, and that's a goal that he's working towards, but I think he has that European passport, so he can go over there easier and not be counted as an import in a lot of leagues and do his thing, try and chase the ladders that step. And the way he can shoot the ball, obviously score the ball, he could really go over there and thrive. And so at times it can be intimidating when a new coach comes in. You're not sure where you like where it's going. I'm not saying this is necessarily the case, but there's a lot of questions that come up into your head. Is this where I want to be? Do I want a different coach? Or this, they're bringing in their own guys. And then so maybe he felt like it was the perfect time to go chase that dream, explore Europe, make some of that stuff happen. Yeah,
no, you never know what's actually going on with, and like the Luke Travers thing. Sometimes you just want to change. Sometimes you just like the what if probably rings loud and truly in your head. So, and then you coach Mahmoud Abdel Fattah, I think is a pronunciation. But from what I heard from him, I reckon you'd get along well with him just because he seems to speak like really positively and like engaging, and you just want to run through a brick wall with those guys. So if you get a chance to talk to him, or whether you have, I don't know why you would, but media day, go chat to him. I reckon you two would get along.
I like it. Well, I haven't spoken to him yet, but I might have to reach out and say, Darren told me we should speak, so let's speak.
So who the hell is Darren?
No, people know you. People know you. People know you. But that is the teams. We just went through what we're excited about. The roster's in place. Now I'm going to quickly hit you with a surprise question to kind of wrap this up. Because obviously I know who I believe is going to win a championship. But I want your final four and then who you think is going to win the championship. And we need to write this down. I know it's early, but everyone loves an early prediction. Darren,
final four.
Take it away.
He's not even asking for the champion by himself. You're just like final four and champion. All
top
right,
four
that is
top four and the champion.
That is some pressure, young Jack. But look, I'll give it to you. I won't give you the top 4 in order because that's a bit
Yep.
difficult.
Yep,
But
no-
I'm gonna
no
put
order
Melbourne.
needed.
Melbourne in there. Oh, jeez, where do I go from there? Nah, I think I'm gonna say Perth's in there. The classic too. Oh, there's too many good teams. Hang on. Let me just think about this. I reckon. Okay, I got it. I think it's gonna be. Oh, I feel bad for putting some teams out. Melbourne, Perth, Sydney, Tassie, with Phoenix. It feels like exactly what Phoenix always do. They shows really strong signs, but then they can't put it all the way together. It feels like they do that a lot and tease their fans, but I reckon they're gonna do it again. So there's my 4. Champion. Jeez. Just quietly, I put you guys in there, but I like what Scott Ross said to, I think it was at Summer League actually, but he was just like, he made a cheeky comment at the end of the interview. He's like, oh, all you guys are just going to pick us last again, so I'm looking forward to seeing how we go or something. So I like that comment from him. Champion, I'm stalling. I'm going to be honest, I'm stalling. What do you think of the top 4?
I love the top 4. I mean,
Okay.
obviously I'm putting the Jackies in it. It's going to be always interesting with a new coach with the Sydney Kings. Melbourne United, having an Aussie core is hard to do, but when Delhi's leading the ship, I've heard about his work ethic and his leadership, and I can imagine he's going to carry a lot of boys along with him. And then your last one was Perth Wildcats. I like what they've done. It's another situation where the coach is heading into his 2nd year, brings in the guys he wants, can build that vision, has his feet wet, can find some firm ground, and it's always a better place to start a season from.
I agree. Look, I'm gonna throw one at you. I reckon a random pick is Perth. I don't know why.
Wow.
I don't know why. I'm probably gonna come back to regret it. But if Bryce Cotton can be Bryce Cotton, if Pinder can be Pinder, and then you get some other guys that Corey Webster looked very good down the end of last season. Ty Webster, be consistent. I'm saying it's possible.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I absolutely love it. Well, there you go, folks. We want to hear what you believe is the championship team. I know there's going to be a lot of Jackie supporters right there. Then the top 4. So hit us with that. And we want to start getting some guests on this show. So we've got a few questions for you now. Hit us with who you think's going to win it. Hit us with your top 4, and then who you would like as a guest, because we want to start getting some people on this show, chatting to them about things they love, basketball, all things related. Or if you have any questions for Jack and Darren, hit us below. Darren, take us out. Have you got any last words for Season 2, Episode 2, the roster update?
Nailed that outro. No, just tag the player in the comment. Just say, come on this show. Just do the hard work for us by yourselves. See what they say. But no, that was it. It's fun looking at the rosters, and predicting things this early is never a good idea. But you forced me into it. So that's it. We'll see you next week, guys. We're going to try to do these more and more regularly, just like once a week. Make a time for it. Yeah, we're back.